Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful La'akim out there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line and your lineage goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halaki here from the GMS Denver camp, coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah with another lesson. And this lesson is going to go into the chariots, man, and the heathens' plan to try to fall or disrupt the Lord's second coming, man. But that's not going to happen because we know, according to prophecy, Yahweh Shai is coming to wage war. And he's coming to take you heathen nations down, man. So we're going to start here in Psalm 33 and 10. It says what? Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. And that's exactly what's about to happen, because you have the heathen raging in the earth and imagining a vain thing, thinking that they're going to defeat the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. And that's not going to happen. You see? That's not going to happen. It goes on to say what? The counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai standeth forever. The thoughts of his heart to all generations. And it's only going to play out how the Most High said it's going to play out. And the reason I'm going into this, because you have a lot of talk of the so-called UFOs, which actually are the chariots, in the news, man. And this goes back to something this guy Ronald Reagan said a couple of decades ago. So let's play this real quick.
With antagonisms of the moment. In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
You hear that? Why was this being said, man, at the UN so long ago? It's because these elite, these higher up, man, they know and understand how the Lord Yahweh Shai is returning. And now, here in these last days, at the end of the last days, where they're starting to see more and more of the chariots appear, man, which signifies the end of Esau's rulership. You see? Because what does it tell us here? Real quick, let's go back to the scripts. Let's get Zechariah 5:1. It says what? Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll, which is a chariot, a so-called UFO, these same vehicles that are being spotted worldwide, especially here in the land of America. Because you can go type into Google right now and ask Google where the most UFO sightings happening, and it's going to show you here in the land of America, man. It's not a coincidence why these vehicles are showing up here in Babylon the Great the way that they are, man. It's because the Most High prophesied that they would. As we continue to read, you're going to see why. I say that. Verse 2 says what? And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. He's seeing a chariot right here. It says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Because when these chariots return with the Lord Yahweh Shai, they're coming to cast out judgment, man. They're coming to punish the people, especially here in the land of America. But best believe it's going to happen worldwide, but the greatest devastation, the greatest judgment is going to take place here in this land. And then what does the Most High tell us, verse 4? I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And who is the thief, man? Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, whose chief dwelling place is here in the land of America. And this is why these vehicles are being spotted the way they've been spotted here, man. Like I say, go look up where the most UFO sightings are taking place. They're going to be taking place mainly in the lands that are ran and governed by Esau, man. You see, the Western world. You see, Great Britain, all the way to America. And any other land where Esau is heading the country, man. They're being seen the most where Esau is in control. And it's happening because the Most High said that they would enter into the house of the thief, because they're doing what? They're watching everything, man. That's what the angels are doing in these vehicles. They're watching everything. They're recording everything. Nothing is being hid from the Most High. It says what? And into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, Esau, Edom, the so-called white race. They swear falsely by the Most High's name by saying what? They're the people of the Most High, but they don't uphold anything the Most High says to do. They've painted over the Most High's image. They've painted over the Most High's son image. They've painted over the image of the Most High's children, man, to perpetrate themselves as being the Israelites, and that's not the truth. When these elected officials, when they're sworn into office, what do? They swear, they put their right hand upon the Bible and swear upon the Bible, man. As if they're some God-fearing people. Because even this guy said what? The Bible was the law of the land. But when we look around, we don't see anything in the Bible being upheld here in Esau's society, man. So they swear falsely by the Most High's name. And it said what? And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Meaning what? They're gonna when these chariots return, they're gonna be casting out concentrated fire from in the form of laser beams upon this place, man. Because when you go into this word consume, real quick, it says what? Consume. No, let's get to the real definition and the context of it, right? There it is. Especially of a fire completely destroyed. That's what these vehicles are set up to do, are coming to do. Well, that's one part of their mission. They're coming to save and they're coming to destroy. But we're talking about the destruction that they're going to bring to the land of America right now. They're going to bring concentrated fire to this land, man. You see, and this is why Esau created his Space Force, because he knows and understands how the Lord Yahushua is returning. He's seeing these vehicles in the heavens, man. And like, man, the brothers, we were saying fucking months ago, years ago, that Esau has a technology where he can see even deep into space than we can see down here just looking up into the heavens, man. I wouldn't be surprised if these vehicles are showing themselves full force out there in the heavens, because Esau's out there looking so deeply out there, man. He's probably seeing the chariots in full scale. He has that type of technology, man. You can go look at some of those astrology books at the definition that Esau's taking these pictures at, man. Taking high resolution, high definition pictures and putting them in the books as documentation. Imagine what else he's seeing, man. And we know from video that he's seeing the chariots from the International Space Station. We've been watching live streams where we be watching and chariots will come across the screen and they'll cut the live stream. So best believe they're seeing these vehicles on an even higher level than we are. And this is why they commissioned to create a Space Force. Because they're going to try to fight against the Lord Yahushua when he returns, man. This is not a coincidence. Because around this time, 2019, hey man, chariot sightings was every day. And it still happen now. And it's going to continue to increase the closer we get to Yahushua's second coming, man. These vehicles signify the end, man. They signify the end of this man's society. That's what these vehicles represent. They've entered into the house of the thief. They're recording everything, and preparations is being made for what? Esau to go down when the Lord Yahushua return. when he returns. You see? So it says what? The U.S. Space Force was established on December 20th, 2019. And once again, this is not a coincidence, man. This is not a coincidence. It says what? When the National Defense Authorization Act was signed into law, creating the first branch of the armed services since 1947. The establishment of the United States Space Force resulted from widespread recognition that space is a national security imperative. And why is that? Is because they know that the Lord Yahweh Shai is returning from the heavens, man. And they understand how he's returning. They like best believe they are seeing these vehicles in a major way when they look through these telescopes, man. When they use that technology to look deeply into space. Oh, you had a couple years ago where it was caught on one of NASA's satellites. It was a chariot like 10 times the size of the Earth, man. This is why they came up with this, man. Because they plan to fight against the Lord. You see, because at the end of the day, all the prophets have been telling the world how the Lord is returning, man. And we're going to start with Enoch. Jude 1, verse 14, it says what? And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these things, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. This is Enoch before the flood even took place, talking about how the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to return with 10,000 of his angels. And they're coming in the chariots, man. One day you're going to look up and the heavens are going to be flooded with so-called UFOs. Now you're going to have Esau try to come with his blue beam bullshit to deceive the masses. But we know and understand what Yahweh Shai is coming to do when he returns. Now, let's lay this out. Now, if it happens where Esau turns on his blue beam, he stages a so-called UFO invasion. If it comes to the point to where they're talking about peace and the aliens come out of the chair, start shaking hands with the president, they start to sign treaties, that's bullshit. Because we know and understand that's not how the Lord Yahweh Shai is coming back according to prophecy. You see, that's being fabricated by Esau because Yahweh Shai is not coming to make peace with the heathen nations, man. And that's why it says what? If it were possible, they could deceive the very elect. But it's not possible, man. He's only going to get the simple-minded with that bullshit, with this blue bean shit, because we know and understand. And we just read it in Zechariah. Yahweh Shai is coming with the chariots to consume the land of America with fire. Let's show you what else is going to happen when the Lord Yahweh Shai returns. So this is how we're going to know the difference between Esau's blue bean bullshit and the true second coming of the Lord, man. Because it's going to be two different events, two majorly different events, man. Because once again, Esau's trying, because that's what he's doing now. Talking about the UFOs are crashing. He got the technology. He got ships. No, you don't, man. No, you don't. The angels are perfect. The Most High's vehicles are perfect. They would never crash. You don't have this technology in your possession. You're lying. So once again, if you see it happen where the so-called UFOs show up, they come down, start shaking hands, or they start to broadcast shit on the news like they're having conversations back and forth with the so-called aliens. No, that's false. That's not finna happen. Like they're gonna start sharing some high advanced technological secrets with the humans down here so we can live in all live in peace as one. No. That's not what's finna happen. And this is how we're gonna know the difference. Because of what the scriptures say, what the Most High has said, what the Most High has ordained to take place. Because when the Lord Yahweh Shai returns, what is he coming to do? Verse 15. To execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which the ungodly have committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. When Yahweh Shai returns, he's coming to judge. He's coming to destroy. He's coming back to punish in righteousness. You see? Point blank period. This is the truth of the matter. And this is why it's so important for us to understand prophecy. So you can't be deceived with the bullshit that Esau is coming with. And that's why it says what? We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We know what this devil is trying to do. You see? Let me see if I can find this in real quick. Let me see what this says in the GNT. One moment. See what this says in the GNT. Real quick. This is Jude 1 and 14 in the GNT. It says what? It was Enoch, the seventh direct descendant from Adam, who long ago prophesied about this about them. The Lord will come with many thousands of his holy angels to bring judgment on all, to condemn them all for their godless deeds they have performed, and for all their terrible words that godless sinners have spoken against him. There it is. This is what the Lord Yahushua is coming to do. This is how he's going to return. You see, let's show you something else. Let's show you, let's get this in Isaiah 66, and we'll start at verse 15. It says what? For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. The same thing that Esau said, man. Isaiah is saying the same thing. This is the vision of the Lord Yahushua returning. He's coming back with his chariots and flames of fire. You see why? And why is he's coming back anger with anger and fury, man? To rebuke. What does the word rebuke go into? Let's see if this is something nice. Let's see if he's coming to make peace. Rebuke, reprove, slakia. Let's define it like this. To express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or actions. Did not Enoch just say the same thing? Yahushua is coming to punish the ungodly sinners for all the ungodly deeds they have committed. He's coming to cast out judgment, man. So if Esau activates his blue beam and you start to see them, some fucking great aliens with big ass eyes or whatever, however they're going to depict them, coming out of the chariot, shaking hands, you know that ain't the Lord, man. That's some shit Esau came up with, because aliens don't exist. There's nothing out. There's no unknown species out there, man. No reptilians, no grays. That shit don't exist. That's some Hollywood bullshit that Esau's been spinning for decades, man. The ones who are out there is the Almighty Yahweh, Yahushua, and the holy angels. That's it. Fucking grays and reptilians don't exist, man. So if you see that being shown to you on the news, on the TV, or however Esau's going to broadcast it, know that that's false, man, because Yahushua is coming back to cast out judgment. Yahushua is coming to punish. You see? Yahushua is coming to destroy. What does it say, verse 16? Matter of fact, before we get that, let's go to the Lord Yahushua and see what he says out of his own mouth. Matthew 10 and 34 lets us know what? Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. This is the Lord Yahushua telling you how he's returning. This is the red letter. These words came directly out of the Lord's mouth. He said, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. Why? Because he's coming to judge according to prophecy. He's coming to judge according to the Most High's will. It tells us right here, Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. What does that word plead go into? Shapat, man. Which goes into judge, govern, vindicate, punish by way of the sword, man. You see? To execute judgment. Discriminating. Because what? He's coming back to destroy the wicked. Vindicating who? The remnant of Israel. Condemning and punishing who? The wicked and godless people of this earth. This is what the Lord Yahushua is coming to do. And Esau knows this, and this is why he's going to try to fight against the Lord, to try to upset the second coming. And nigga, you about to fail miserably, man. Because prophecy lets us know it wasn't in the Most High's will for you to destroy the Lord when he returns. You out of your damn mind, man. You've been watching too many of your own Hollywood movies, man. Fucking Independence Day and shit. No. You devils are gonna fucking lose, man. It says what? For by fire, Isaiah 66:16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. What does the word slain go into? Because we got to go into these definitions because you people act slow. Like you can't comprehend what the fuck we're saying. Slain goes into what? Slain, fatality, wounded, pierced, fatally wounded. Let's get even more graphic. What does it say? Slay, kill, put to death, put to the sword, butcher, cut down, cut to pieces, slaughter, massacre. You see? Destroy, eliminate, annihilate, exterminate, dispose of, wipe out, take out. You see? Destruction, extermination, liquidation. That's what Yahushua is coming to do. And it says what? The slain of the Lord shall be many. Because Yahushua is coming to punish the world as the prophets have been telling you from the beginning, man. That hasn't changed. Let's get this one right here. This is Jeremiah 25 and 32. Fuck you. Call Allah Yahbashim Yahushua. I always get it backwards. This is Jeremiah 25 and 32. It says, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua of hosts. Behold, evil or bad time shall go forth from nation to nation. And a great whirlwind, that gigantic chariot Yahushua is going to show up on, shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. This is how the Lord Yahushua is returning, man. In a gigantic chariot, you see? And he's coming to punish the wicked. He's coming to take down Esau's power structure. And these devils know this, and this is why they're going to try to fight against the Lord when he returns, man. You see, what you think? That's what the great war in heaven is talked about in Revelation. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 12 and 7. This is why they created this space. Well, this is why the Most High put the Spirit upon them to create this space for us so they could fulfill this prophecy. Once again, that was not a coincidence. That wasn't a chance happening. That was set in place so prophecy could be fulfilled because the heathen nations are going to try to fight against the Lord when he returns, man. You see? That's what that whole thing is all about. And I can guarantee you right now, they're running top secret missions, putting weapons up into space. So when the Lord Yahushua returns, they can try to blow them away. And you out of your fucking mind, man, because we know what prophecy says. Let's get it real quick. Revelation 12 and 7, it says what? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, which represents Esau. You see? And the dragon fought his angels. So Michael and his angels, Yahushua, Michael and the heavenly host, coming back in the chariots, the so-called UFOs or the UAPs, whatever you want to call them. You see the vehicles of heaven, you see? And the dragon, which represents Esau, and his angels represents what? His fighter jets, man. Why do you think they're trying to come up with trying to develop these jets as far as they can develop them? And now they're at what now? The F-35. These things have been crafted and created to fight against the Lord, man. You see? And all of the nations are going to come together with this, man. This is why Ronald Reagan said what he said. Wouldn't we all come together if we was facing a universal threat? That's what he was alluding to. The second coming of the Lord, because these devils know, man. Once again, they are seeing these vehicles on a very high level as they look through their telescopes. You think they're really revealing to the public everything they know, everything they've seen? Hell nah. You see? I guarantee you Esau has seen the angels in these chariots, man. And that's why he's moving with such haste. You had Donald Trump say what? They moving Operation Warp Speed, right? Had to speed this thing up because they know they have but a short time, as it tells us right here in Revelation 12 and 12. But right here, let's get back to it. So Revelation 12 and 7, it says what? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And what happened? And prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven, because Esau is going to lose, man. They're not going to prevail against the Lord. And when it says there was no more place found for them in heaven, doesn't mean Satan was cast out of heaven. It means Esau is being cast out of the power seat, man. He's coming to the end of his blessing. His blessing represents his heaven, man. You see? The condition that he's been living in on the earth since the time of the Renaissance. Coming into the fullness of the fatness of the earth, all that was his heaven, man. That's why these Edomites been living it up the way they've been living it up. In the best portions of the land, having the best of everything. They were living out their blessing. Now that time is coming to an end. And it's time for us to come into ours. But before we can come into ours, they're going to try to fight against the Lord, man, to try to upset prophecy. You see, this is what these damn devils are doing. But as we know, they are not going to prevail. I want to see what that says in the GNT. Hey, Salaki, I just got this GNT today. So I'm about to try to break it in, you know. But we'll turn right to it. Revelation 12:7, it says what? Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, who fought back with his angels. But the dragon was defeated. And he and his angels were not allowed to stay in heaven any longer. And that means what? They're going to be cast out of the power seat. This lifestyle that Esau and these heathen have been living while we've been on the bottom, because they've been in heaven. And Esau allowed the heathen to partake in it, right? They've been living it up, getting rich off the back of the Israelites. That time is coming to an end, because it's time for us to reign and rule in the earth. And this is what Yahushua is coming to set up. Esau knows this, and he's trying to stop it. That's what this whole thing is about. He's trying to keep the Israelites separated from our power. You see? He's trying to keep us in this low condition. He's trying to stop us from inheriting this blessing that the Most High promised to give us, man. But you are not going to be able to do that, man. It's been set up from the beginning for us to come into this blessing and rule forevermore in the kingdom of heaven. And that's what Yahushua is coming to usher in. You see? He's coming to revoke your power that you've been given, your temporary power. And he's coming to establish an everlasting kingdom, you see, forevermore. The throne of David, man. That's what's about to be taken. That's what's about to happen in the earth. Verse 9 says what? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, Esau, the so-called white race, which deceiveth the whole world. He's deceived the whole world to make them think that he's the apex being on the earth. No, you're not. Pushing forth all his pseudo-signs and his false doctrines and philosophies, man. This wicked-ass lifestyle that he's propagated in the earth as if it's the right way. He's deceived the whole world into drinking of that cup of abomination, man. But what? He's about to be cast down. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Cast to a lower state, man, being put back in your place. Because we're about to come back into the state of being the supreme beings on the earth forevermore, and you heathen are about to be put back in your natural order up under us, man. That's what the throne of David is all about. All 12 tribes being brought together in unison in the spirit, under the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, led by our Lord Yahushua, and you heathen nations are going to be put in subjection up under us forevermore. To be our footstool, man. You see? That's what's about to happen. Esau and these heathen don't want this to happen, and this is why they're doing everything in their power to try to fight against it, man. But guess what? We already know, according to what the Most High has spoken, you're not going to prevail. Easy. It's easy. Easy. It's over for you heathen, man. You will not be able to stop the Lord Yahushua when he returns. He's going to come back on a level that can't even be fucking comprehended, man. That can't even be comprehended. You know what? And we're ending on that. We'll end it with the vision that the Most High gave unto our forefather Ezra, you see, about the Lord Yahushua's return. You see? Revelation 13, we'll start at verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. This is Ezra witnessing the second coming of our Lord Yahushua, and he's coming back with the thousands of heaven. The angels driving those chariots, man. Once again, they are going to flood the skies one day eventually. They're going to crack the clouds, and Yahushua and the heavenly hosts are going to flood the skies, man. Just as Enoch was prophesying from the beginning. It's going to happen. You see? It says what? And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And all that pride and all that arrogancy that you people are walking around in. You see, basically not respecting our Lord, not taking heed to any of the words that the men of the Lord are coming unto you with through the spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua. Hey, all that shit is going to stop when Yahushua show up, man. You people are going to be shook. You're going to be terrified. Even Yahushua said what? Men's hearts fell in them for fear of the things coming upon the earth. Because the power and glory that Yahushua is coming back with, man, no one has ever witnessed this before. And it's going to shake up a lot of people. You see? Now, we're going to be happy to see Yahushua show up, but when we witness his power, man, our stomach might drop. You see? Because he's coming back on a completely different level than he did 2,000 years ago, man. He's coming back as the second most powerful being up under the Almighty God, Yahweh. Do you understand what that means? That the only one that there's more powerful than Yahushua is the Almighty God, the Ancient of Days. Yahweh, man. Do you understand that? This is what these fucking heathen are trying to fight against when the Lord returns, man. Complete pride and arrogancy. And this is why the Most High is going to humble you greatly when this time comes. Verse 4 says what? And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. Because what? He's coming back with his flames. He's talking about him shooting those laser beams out of that chariot, man, zapping people, destroying people. And he won't be the only one doing it. You're going to have the angels getting rid of a lot of people. That's why it says what? The slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. You're about to witness it, man. This is the true second coming. Not that bullshit that Esau is going to try to fabricate. Verse 5 says what? And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. There it is. That's the heathen and their armies trying to subdue the Lord Yahushua when he returns. This is what Esau was trying to rally the troops, you see, to come up against this universal threat. The universal threat is the Lord Yahushua and his heavenly host, man. You see that? This is verse 5 represents the nation's militaries, man. Just like it was talking about in Revelation 12. This is the what they call it, the dragon and his angels right here, trying to subdue the Lord Yahushua. Now, what does it go on to say? Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. This is how big Yahushua's chariot is, man. Ezra had to compare it to a mountain. That's how big it is. He compared it to a mountain. This vehicle is going to be gigantic, man, to the point to where it's going to block out the lights of heaven. The world has never seen this before, man. But it's going to be live and direct when this day comes. And we're going to say we told you so, because when we bring this topic out, people look at us like we got 10 fucking heads, man. Oh, y'all on that sci-fi shit. No, this is real life. This is reality. This is how the Lord, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, whose true name is Yahushua, this is how he's returning, man. And he's coming back with a vengeance. You see? Verse 7 says what? But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Ezra thought it was a mountain missing in the earth. And over here in the Rockies, man, I know sometimes we come up like some places sit higher than others, and we come up like on top of a hill, man. You get to see the full size of the Rockies, man. Them shits are huge, man. So imagine just the Rocky Mountain range flying in the air. You see? And I believe it's going to be even bigger than that. Because like we said, Yahushua is not coming back in that weak, lowly state that he came last time, man. He's coming back in the full force of the power that he's earned by being obedient to the Most High, even unto death. He's about to flex power the world has never witnessed before, man. So it's gonna be way outside of the box, way outside of anything that we can imagine or actually break down the magnitude of it, man. You see? Now verse 8 says what? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fright, because these soldiers have not been briefed on what's about to take place, man. Soldiers are just there to take commands and go wherever their leadership tells them to go. They're not giving these soldiers a briefing on, we're about to go to the Middle East and fight World War III. And while we're fighting World War III, Jesus Christ is going to show up on a gigantic UFO, and we're going to have to fight against him. They're not being told that. You see? They're just following the orders. They only know what they need to know. But when Yahushua show up, man, he's going to show up in the midst of World War III. Like it tells us in Joel 3, cause thy mighty ones to come down. You see? The mighty ones that's going to come down is who? Yahushua and the heavenly host. And those soldiers are going to be terrified. This is why we tell you, you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, do not join Esau's fucking military, man, because they're going to ship your ass off over there to the Middle East in the area of Saudi Arabia where World War III is going to be fought. And as you're over there, the Lord Yahushua is going to return, man, and they're going to have you fighting against the Lord, and you're going to be destroyed. You are going to be destroyed, man, because the Most High laid it out in plainness for Ezra to see. Shit, it even felt like Ezra was there. We're going to get it. It said what? 2 Ezra 13 and 8, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And why are they going to fight? It's because the Most High is going to put the Spirit upon them to fulfill the prophecy of Revelation 12 and 7, the great war in heaven. That has to be fulfilled. They're not going to want to fight. But the Most High is going to make them fight because everything is subject to his will. If you're an Israelite in Esau's military, get the fuck out of there, man. Because, hey, we could be reading about you. Verse 9 says what? And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand. Now listen to this, man. Listen to this. Because there's going to be millions upon millions of soldiers over there fighting this war. It's not going to be just some low level, war. You got 15,000 soldiers. No, it's going to be millions of soldiers over there fighting this last great world's war. You see? Now listen. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. He didn't have any carnal weapons, man. He wasn't standing on top of the chariot with 2 gun belts and 2 fucking machine guns like Rambo, man. No. All he had was those weapons that are on those chariots, man. It says what? But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and that's the bottom of that chariot, as it had been a blast of fire. And you want a good illustration of that, you can go watch Independence Day when those clowns were standing on top of that tower talking about welcome to Earth, and that chariot opened up and shot that gigantic fucking beam down on them and blew up that building. It's going to be something like that, but on an even grander scale, man. So 2 Ezra 13 and 10, it says what? But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. These are the weapons that he's going to use to destroy the nation's militaries, man. Now listen, verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. You see that? One blast, man, is all it's going to take. And it says what? And burn them up, every one. And so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, nothing was to be seen, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. This is what Yahushua is about to do to the nation's militaries, man. And one blast, he's going to wipe them all out. Elder said, it wasn't nothing there to be seen except for dust and the smell of smoke. Do you see that? And these damn heathen think they're going to be able to fight against this, man. But we already know how it's going to turn out. All those soldiers over there, they're going to fertilize that land and make it, hey, going back to that state of being the Garden of Eden like the Most High promised, man. That's how the land going to be rejuvenated. The bodies of you soldiers the dust of you soldiers is going to fertilize our land, man. But this is what's about to happen. This is what Esau thinks he's going to fight against. Sadly mistaken, man. You lose according to prophets. No matter how hard you try to push this bullshit that you're pushing, you're going to lose, man. That's why the Most High says what? He brings the devices of the heathen to naught. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to stand is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And according to his will, Yahushua has already defeated you, man. We have the visions. It's being made known unto us. All we got to do now is just wait for it to play out. You see? And this day is closer than what we really think, man. But this is what it is. You heathen lose according to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. As it is written, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So with that, I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rekach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has created us to do. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wa, Abba, Baba.